I'm so sleepy. What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to, it's either gonna be what I eat in a day, a couple days in my life, depending on how much I feel like filming. I was thinking about it recently, and look, it might be a little clickbaity, but I always put like New York City in my titles, in my thumbnails, or something along those lines, like living in New York City, but like I don't leave the house. So just simply filming another what I eat in a day right now feels like a cop-out in a way, though it shouldn't be, because it's like post-holidays, it's the 27th. I believe like there's not much going on, like the space between Christmas and New Year's, just like time doesn't exist. So the fact that I'm even filming is, you know, a win. So I shouldn't be so hard on myself. But sometimes I'm like, you know, maybe my videos would be a lot more interesting if I left the house to do things other than go to work or take a spin class or get some coffee. Though today I got a smoothie. I did in fact wake my ass up and get to a spin class today, something I have not done I'm afraid to look, but it's probably been at least 2 months. I don't know if you've been watching my plan with me, I'm sure there's context clues in there. But yeah, I figured why wait for the new year to have a reset post-Christmas, post many snacks and alcoholic beverages. I think today was a good starting point. So I did go to a spin class today. After the class, I realized that I just did like the biggest Trader Joe's grocery haul yesterday. Didn't film it, don't worry, I'm not making you watch another one of those. I didn't get like any breakfasty foods. I have like cereal right now and hash browns, which I might still make a hash brown, but I don't have any fruit. And fruit has been a hard thing recently. If you know me, you know a smoothie and hash brown or avocado toast are my go-to breakfast. I'm a creature of habit when it comes to breakfast. But long story short, I'm on this new acne medication where I shouldn't be having a lot of potassium. I can have potassium, but not a lot. And what foods have a lot of potassium? Bananas, potatoes, and avocados. My 3 food items that I go to for breakfast. So this is my first time having banana in quite a long time. I went to Pliables. It is a chain. I don't think it's a national chain. I think it started in Jersey, so we had some in Delaware, but there's one in Brooklyn as well. So I thought, why not get a little smoothie? Way more money than I want to think about. Could have easily made this very same thing myself for like less than $1. But alas, as you can imagine, I do not have bananas. I have not purchased bananas in months at this point. And for what you ask, I don't know, because my acne is still here. But that's another complaint and rant and story for another time. So I have my chocolate, peanut butter, banana, protein, something smoothie. Other than that, I am unfortunately working today. Only 11 to 5. It's a shorter shift. I'm remote. Again, we're in this space between Christmas and New Year's where time doesn't exist, and half my coworkers aren't even working. So I'm like, let's just say work is a loose term. I do have some work to do, but it is otherwise going to be a cozy little day. I have a new recipe for lunch that I would like to try. I'm going back to a classic recipe for dinner. I'm excited to share it all with you, so you'll just have to wait and see. But for now, I'm going to finish drinking this. I'm going to shower because the second I start sweating, I need to shower. So like, I'm not doing well right now. So I'm gonna shower, cuddle my cats a little bit, and then settle in for the day on the couch in sweatpants and do a couple hours of work. And just like that, we're back from the shower. So what we're gonna do now is prep dinner because it's actually a slow cooker recipe. Actually, I don't think it's a slow cooker recipe, but I'm making it a slow cooker recipe. And I know, I think in our last video, we had this exact same scenario where I made a not slow cooker recipe, a slow cooker recipe, and it didn't turn out great. But I'm making chili. Chili belongs in the slow cooker. This recipe that I follow, I love it, but it says just to cook it within like under an hour. It says the whole thing takes under an hour. I'm like, no, we are not doing that. I've made this recipe a bunch of times. It works just fine in the slow cooker, and that's less effort I have to put in later. I can just do it all right now. I have my recipe on my iPad here. I'll be sure to link it down below. I know I've been very bad about doing that, but I promise I will this time because I do love this recipe. It's by Vegan Hugs. Obviously, it's a vegan chili, and obviously, like any recipe I make for the most part, I am adapting it, upgrading it, just doing a little more with it. So first things first, I have some Trader Joe's beefless grounds that I will be using for the meat part of the chili. This recipe says tofu. I'm not a fan of that, so I'll be using these. I think a couple what I eat in a day videos ago, I used these for the very first time to make a shepherd's pie, and they were so good, and I've been using them for a lot of things ever since because it tastes like most other beef alternatives, and it's much cheaper than getting Impossible or Beyond. So I'm gonna saute this. I think I also saute some of the veggies, so the bell pepper, the garlic, the onion, the jalapenos, and then I'm gonna throw it all into the slow cooker with some broth, some tomatoes, beans, of course. And yeah, I think that's it. With this recipe as well, something I learned is not to add the corn. I don't know, I did corn in it the first 2 times and I could never figure out like what felt weird about the recipe. It was definitely the corn. I don't think personally corn belongs in chili. I see what they're trying to do, but no. So I get rid of the corn. I do beefless grounds instead of tofu, and then I like amp up the spices a little bit more because it's a little mild on taste, but there's room for improvement. Big ass cloves of garlic. It's our lucky day. Not me fully forgetting to make coffee. Don't know how I've survived this long without it, but we finally have it, filled her to the brim. I am finally sitting down to work for a couple of hours. I'm gonna try to crank this all out as quickly as I can because I do unfortunately have things to do. But other than that, I am sitting here with my computer, with my blanket, ignore the towel. Long story short, we need a new couch. But I'm also having myself a little Harry Potter movie marathon. So obviously I very intentionally wore my Ron shirt today. I have my Ravenclaw mug. We're gonna have ourselves a day. And I am still so tired. All right, we are 1 Harry Potter movie down, which means it's been what, like a little over 2 hours since my last check-in, which also means it's time for lunch, and I am actually quite starving. But first, let's check on the chili. Smells so good. I will definitely be giving it, well, probably quite a few taste tests between now and when I serve it, but might do some seasoning adjustments along the way. Otherwise, it's looking good. It definitely needs to go a little bit longer. 1, just because it's not time for dinner, and 2, because as you can see, it's still a little liquidy, which is fine. Some people might like that. I would like it to evaporate a little bit more, soak up a little bit more, and if within the next like hour or 2 it doesn't look like it's done any more of that, I'll turn the crock pot to high. It's been on low for right now because when did I make this? Around like 11. We won't be eating until probably like 6 or 7. So whatever that maths out to, the low setting I figured would do what it needed to, but I can always crank it up if needed. Yeah, my brain is just absolutely not working right now. I don't know if anyone else experiences this, but like after doing cardio, my head just gets like so jumbled, and it's such a specific and weird kind of headache that I get, and I swear my brain's just like bouncing around while I'm on the bike or going for a jog, whatever it is. And I know that like drinking a lot of water and stretching afterwards and even doing like feet or legs up the wall, doing an inversion could help with that. But other than drinking water, I did not really do any of those things after working out today, so I'm paying that price. But needless to say, my head hurts, I'm sleepy, obviously, and I'm really hungry. So let's make some lunch. So I did plan to make a salad, which I'm just truthfully not in the mood for anymore. I feel like that's how it always goes with salads. It's like you have the best intentions to make one, but when it comes time to making and eating that salad, you're kind of just like, I'd rather not. But alas, here we are. I already have the ingredients for it. This is actually supposed to be a side dish to our Christmas dinner because, bitch, I made the TikTok mac and cheese for my Christmas like main course dinner, and it was so good, so good. But I was trying to be reasonable and was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna have like a crap load of cheese and noodles and carbs and fat, whatever, I should also, you know, have a little bit of balance, have a vegetable of sorts. So I planned to make this salad, but then my boyfriend, love him to death, did not pick up the green spring mix for said salad when he went grocery shopping and there was no time. So needless to say, I had a shit ton of mac and cheese and I'm not mad about it. However, I did go back to the store and eventually get greens, so I should and will make this salad. I don't really want to, but I will. We need walnuts, pumpkin seeds, honey or maple, chipotle chili powder, which I don't have. I actually just used up all of my regular chili powder for the chili. So mixed greens, apples, and avocado. I have one, but it's not ripe. I forgot I needed it for this recipe. Pomegranate. I already knew I wasn't going to use that. I'm not fucking with the pomegranate right now. Crumbled feta. And then for the dressing, we need olive oil, apple cider vinegar, Dijon mustard, honey, fig preserves, orange zest and orange juice, salt and black pepper, and chili flakes. And I don't know about you, but I'm also very pro snacking while I prepare. So I'm gonna dig into this better cheddar dip spread. I'm not really sure what you would call it. And you probably don't even know what the hell it is because I think it's a Delaware thing. I don't know. As far as I know, it's pretty niche, whether it's just to Delaware or other areas, but my mom makes it all the time. It's shredded cheddar, mayonnaise, green onions, seasoning. I think there's supposed to be walnuts in here, I think, but she didn't put them in. It probably, honestly, just saying that out loud, it sounds disgusting, but it's so good. Oh, what? I have to bake something? All right, preheating the oven. I did not read this ahead of time, but we're supposed to toss the pumpkin seeds and walnuts with the honey maple syrup, season it. Okay, whatever. I can do that. I'll commit to that. I thought about doing some tempeh with this initially, just for a little extra protein, a little extra fullness. I bought some tempeh that I need for a dinner recipe tomorrow, so it's fine. That's why we have the snack. Gosh, this is like chaos over here. I can't stand cooking like this, but it just be like that in these tiny New York apartments, so. Okay, so this recipe makes 8 servings. I only need 1 to 2. I might have this again for lunch tomorrow, so I'm going to cut everything in half like 2 times. And, you know, for the walnuts, I'm just going to eyeball it. I will not admit to you how long I've had these pumpkin seeds. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. Half a cup, quarter cup, so good, like, sprinkling. And need a nice little drizzle of honey. Oh, I didn't even mention, like, where, who, what this recipe is. So it's called Christmas Salad with Honey Mustard Dressing. And it is, in fact, a recipe that I got from Half Baked Harvest. And yes, I am now privy to, I don't think she's been canceled, but I know she's been called out recently for like appropriating recipes. That's not great. That being said, I've been following her for a very long time, so there's a handful of recipes. This is probably like the newest one that I've gotten from her. Other than that, I have a bunch of recipes of hers that I saved like years ago that are some of my go-tos. I don't really frequent that website too much anymore. This popped up on Pinterest, but reading or like watching all the TikToks about all the messed up things that she's done in the food world has me very much inspired to go look for new recipe blogs. If you have any recipe blog, content creator, whatever, give me the recommendations down below. All right, so basically all I have to do now is make the dressing and cut up the apple and put it all together. Love that. Love this thing. I'm being judged for being weak on the floor below me. Okay, in my defense, this cheap little thing, I know I just gave it credit, felt like it was getting ready to break. And I was not about to let that happen. Okay, sorry, my camera battery died, but you didn't miss much. I essentially just finished mixing up the dressing, I assembled the salad. I ended up putting cranberries in since I didn't have pomegranate seeds. It is all in here together, the greens, the dressing, the apples, the cranberries, the walnut, pumpkin mixture, feta. Let's see how it tastes. And yes, I am sitting on the couch still. I keep talking about how much I want to utilize my kitchen table a little bit more, but my kitchen table is overthrown by Christmas currently, so that is not an option. All right, well, first, I fully forgot to mix it up. So the dressing is not very even at the moment, so I need to mix it up, but it's not bad. I'm definitely going to eat it all, and I think, unless my greens go bad, because they were already looking kind of weird even though I just got them, I imagine I will eat the second salad of this, but I've had better salads, and I feel like I say that about every salad I've had. I have two favorite salads in the whole world from two different restaurants, one in Delaware, one in Brooklyn. All that being said, I'd give it a solid like 6, 7 out of 10. That's just based off of one bite. I need to mix it up. But anyway, I'm going to eat my salad on the couch, put on Chamber of Secrets, and then get back to work. Surprise, I made biscuits. I thought about filming the whole process. Also, these aren't baked yet. They're made, but they're not baked. I was gonna film the whole process, and then I realized this isn't a bake with me and I shouldn't pressure myself to do that. You already saw me make my lunch and dinner. So I made biscuits. I followed the dessert person miso buttermilk biscuits recipe. Yes, this is just more my chaotic kitchen with my recipe book on top of my dryer, which is actively running. So it might fall off. Also, sorry for any background noise you hear. It's that. But I made Claire Saffitz's miso buttermilk biscuit recipe from Dessert Person. I haven't tried it before. I always like to have bread when I make chili, and at first I was gonna do some beer bread, but then I realized I didn't have any beer. Then I'd have to leave, go to the store, get a can of beer, and I just didn't feel like doing that. I already left the house today. It's rainy. I'm trying to have a cozy, chill vibe. So I realized I have all the ingredients to make these biscuits, which actually works out because we needed to use buttermilk for a chicken recipe for Evan for Christmas. He only needed some of it. We still have a lot of it. We have miso left over from something, so this was a good like get rid of ingredients recipe to make. I actually need to get these in the oven. They were just sitting in the freezer for like 15 minutes, so I'm gonna brush them with butter, and then it says to top with pepper. And at first I was like, oh no, I can't show you guys that because I need both hands for the pepper, and I'm still on my phone. I'm not using my camera. But then I remembered I have this bad boy. For Christmas, my dad gave us the electronic salt and pepper grinders, so I haven't used it yet. Let's try it out.